Hi everyone, welcome to the Personal Finance Boss series. This is episode 1. So just a disclaimer, information in this presentation is of a general nature only. It doesn't take into account your objectives, financial situation or needs. I recommend obtaining personal financial advice before making any decision. So the Personal Finance Boss series is based on the premise that anyone who goes home, when they get into their house, they are their own personal finance boss. They are the boss of those finances in that house. And whether you are studying or not working, or you're one of 1,000 employees, or you're one of one employee and you own your own business, whatever it is, when it comes to your household personal finances, you are the boss of that realm. And you may also have a partner who's also a boss, but executives often have CEOs or CFOs that have to work together in order to operate an enterprise. But the key thing they would understand when they first go into a business is the cash runway. And cash runway is just a way of saying where you're at right now, what amount of cash do you have short term that is available to satisfy what your short-term needs are from a money perspective. So what are you spending on a monthly basis, and what money is available to you on a monthly basis right now to pay those expenses? So start off with starting cash. You can see that here. Starting cash, this is just an example, 7,000. This is an embedded calculator, an Excel calculator. If somebody would like to use it, happy if you reach out and I can send over this Excel spreadsheet. But basically, you're starting cash, say that's what's in your bank account, and you have a credit card of $6,000 with available limit, and your monthly expenses are $5,000. So that's your net monthly burn. So that's what has to be paid by your personal finance household enterprise a month. What you've got available to satisfy those is $13,000. That's the starting cash plus the credit card. And what that means in monthly terms is essentially you've just got up under 3 months, but this just rounds up. You got just under 3 months. If your ongoing income or other resources of income that aren't coming in, that if they stopped coming in, this is what you would have with those resources. This is really the lifeblood of a business or a personal finance area. And once an executive would know where they're at, the next step to improve that would be to look at a 1% improvement. The low hanging fruit. Things that you've probably thought of a few times, you've said in the back of your mind, I know that I'm overpaying here on this insurance policy, I'm overpaying on this electricity bill, on this internet bill, we don't need that much anymore. Whatever it may be, there's some low-hanging fruit there. Now, a 1% improvement target, if you work out $50 of improvement, which is a 1% target, and you do that 10 times, you would save $500 a month. So you need 10 days of your year where you work on a 1% improvement target, where you look at an expense that you can improve. You save yourself $500 a month, that is $6,000 a year. And that would require 10 days of your time to do that. And once you do that, obviously with your net monthly burn reducing, your runway resources become larger in terms of the amount of months that you have ahead of you. Now, there's a stage where you're going to get to where, everything looks good, and then you need to start looking at what portion of your funds can you start setting aside to savings to build up that starting cash. And once you've made those 1% improvements, once you've started to help yourself build that starting cash. So as an example, if you decided that $500 that you saved a month started to go to starting cash, your overall runway starts to really, really grow. And then once you're at 6 to 12 months, you have that comfort. And just as it says in the name, a runway is for a plane to take off, and it's the same for a business. It's for a business to help it take off, but it's also for your personal finance. So from an investment perspective, from a reinvestment perspective, can you invest in now studying? Can you invest in a property or in something that's going to enable you to further your income, whether it be an investment or study or something of that ilk? This is really the lifeblood of any organization. It's the lifeblood of your own personal finance as well. But when it comes to your personal finance, you are the boss of that. And it's up to you to look at it and decide what to do and actually action it. And this is what mindset shift helps people understand, that when it comes to their personal finance, they are the boss of that realm and they need to operate it in that way. And once you do, you really start to see some flow-on effects. It has positive effects in different aspects of life for different people, but I think it really provides some reward to the people who feel they've accomplished and improved their financial situation. It always helps. So that's the end of the Personal Finance Boss Series, episode 1. As always, this is it's a general nature only, this presentation, but these are sort of helpful tips for people that can start to help improving their personal finance area and be a boss in the personal finance realm when they get home.